this session. Obviously, this is completely free. What we're going to go over here is for beginners or intermediate traders. We're doing a live training session pretty much every day. As a professional trader, me and Nick will come on, we'll do our analysis. Just checking on the market, see where things are at, waiting on positions to come to certain levels. So we want to share that with you guys, go through the thinking process behind trades. Again, this will be recorded, posted on YouTube afterwards for you guys. If you have questions throughout the session, feel free to just post in the chat. And we'll go back and we'll go over that. So Nick is going to start with DXY, explain why we look at DXY, and get right into it.
Absolutely. So go ahead and let me share while I talk about DXY. So guys, I start off every live session. So Sunday Market Blitz, all these live sessions during the week, I always start off looking at DXY because it's, dollar strength. It's US dollar strength. It makes up for 80% of all trade. It's always a good idea to just check it out, see what's going on, because the rest of the market a lot of the market kind of just follows suit with whatever DXY is doing, whether it's an inverse relationship or it's, just directly correlated. You just have to let me share, bro.
Let's see. Here we go.
All right. So if you guys have been seeing a crap load of volume in the markets, a lot of pairs have just been skyrocketing. That's pretty much related to DXY here, just falling, right? Falling, super bearish. So, that just, real quick, I'm just going to pop over to AU real quick. See how high this is moving, how strongly this is rocketing up. Huge bullish rally, inversely correlated to DXY. DXY is pushing down, AUD is pushing up. So that's just kind of why we'll always establish sentiment on whatever time frame we're looking at. It's always good to check out DXY because it does influence the market so heavily. So let's just go ahead and do an overall analysis starting on the daily. We always want to, part of our strategy is always identifying the trend on a higher time frame. So, this is the daily time frame here. Super, super bullish, right? We can see that clearly. Very, very strong bullish movement, strong bullish channel. We can then classify this trend as bullish. So let's go ahead and drop time frames for a second to the 4 hour and kind of zone in on more recent price action, see what's happening. So, for quite a while we saw after this news, this is all bullshit news. Don't even pay attention to this. This is the real market structure here. This consolidation. So this is DXY, stabilizing, especially after a move like this. It was ranging, which is good to see. It's absolutely fine. It gave the rest of the market a chance to form market structure, move normally, or somewhat resume normalcy in the market. So I know things have been pretty chaotic with Corona and all these other news events happening, and the Fed trying to adjust everything. So this was nice to see this consolidation amid all this crap going on. But we've been seeing ranging at 101, bouncing from the low at 98.5. So this was good while it was lasting. But then we did see a huge bearish movement take place, right? So the market's starting to price itself in. April reports are coming in. We don't, things obviously are not good in the U.S. right now. So this is pretty much representing all of that. It's just pushing price action much, much lower, outside of this range, well below 98.5. And we're currently at the bottom of that daily channel. So this trend line here is this channel here on the daily. So this bottom trend line, right? So this is a pretty key area. I mean, I don't live or die by trend lines, but this is still a pretty key area. So let's go ahead and cover a couple trade opportunities here of where this could go. So we're either going to see a bounce, which would be nice to see because we do need to see this market kind of reverse. It's pretty overextended, especially in some of these other pairs. So reverse would be pretty nice to see. And for us to start considering long positions, we need to see this. We need to see, some breaks of minor levels, some breaks of lower highs, and then we need an established higher low on this 4 hour especially. We really need to see a higher low. We really need to see some bullish confirmation, something that's going to give us confidence in, looking long on the dollar. So essentially, this is what needs to happen. Break of these lower time frame, lower highs, start, domino effect of these, minor levels breaking, and then eventually transfer into these higher time frame zones. Like this 4 hour here, we need to break this 4 hour 98.5 level, and then we can see price action continue higher. But until that happens, we're pretty much bearish. I mean, essentially, this is a very, very steep trend, very, very strong trend. Until this happens, we're going to just stay bearish. So if it does pull out of this channel here, it's pretty likely that we could just see this continue to drop. Potentially, down towards this monthly. I mean, that is quite a ways away, but we'll be watching. So if it just maintains this trend, until it breaks this trend, we're bearish. But we would ideally need to see these minor levels break and then this 4-hour level break to then go bullish again. So that's DXY. Let's go ahead and jump over to AUD and see if we can translate that. So again, off the bat, we always jump up time frames, get an understanding of the overall trend, right? So we still are pretty much bearish on AU, considering this huge bearish channel over here, considering these highs here at this main resistance level around this monthly. So it is still bearish technically, although it is super overextended on the 4-hour. So let's go ahead and drop down, take a look, see what that means. All right, so we had this ascending channel here, right? We had a triangle over here, good, strong bullish movement on this 4-hour. And then this was market open pretty much right here. It opened up on Sunday and then took off. Absolutely just skyrocketed. But it is approaching our monthly resistance, which is good. So we could anticipate some sort of reversal potentially. But we can't really enter on this. We're in a waiting game right now because it's so overextended. We haven't seen any structure form. Yes, we want to enter long on this because it is a 4-hour trend. But the entry has to present itself. We can't just take an entry because, it's bullish. We have to see our rules be hit. We have to have some sort of logic when entering the trade. And in this case, it would be entering at a golden fib level on a retracement. So 61.8 level, this key structure level right here at 0.675. So I want to see a nice pullback through the MAs, some consolidation, some reversal signals, some bullish signals, and then we can enter on the right confirmations and target higher towards this monthly resistance, towards this negative 27 fib level. But for right now, we're just waiting. I mean, it's so overextended. This is going to take a while for it to pull back and then give us some signals. But I mean, sometimes that's trading. This is just one of those weeks, guys, where it's just absolutely like price action just went parabolic based on a
Yeah,
lot
we're
of
just at that point now. We don't want to enter at the highs. We don't want to take any aggressive short positions. At the moment until we see something that lines up with our rules. You know what I'm saying? Until we see
yeah,
something that
exactly.
lines up with what we're looking for.
Exactly. And one of our rules is not entering at the 23.6 either. So even if we see a push from here, that's not real structure. That's not real structure. We want to see this pull back a good amount and then continue higher.
Yeah,
Those are the characteristics of a healthy market.
Unless we see some sort of pattern, rectangles,
Right.
flags,
But as
pennants.
of right now, it's still
Yeah.
early. So, we're waiting regardless.
Yeah,
But
definitely
yeah,
needs some
good point.
more movement.
So like, yeah, something like this. So like if we saw a pattern like this, some consolidation in the form of a ascending triangle or something, key resistance is established and then it breaks and then retests. Yeah, definitely. That's one of our rules. You could, probably find some sort of trade opportunity in that. But as of right now, very, very early. So let's keep going. That's AU. AG is going to be similar. AJ is going to be very, very similar, guys. So you already know I'm popping up to the daily, identifying that sentiment. Super, super bearish, like crazy bearish on this huge channel here, huge bearish channel. So our next key level is this monthly resistance right here, which lines up with our negative 27 fib level. So now that we can see that, we want to drop to the 4-hour. All right. Very, very similar to AU. Pretty much the exact same thing, to be honest. Even as far as this pattern goes here, we had an ascending triangle that we said. It broke out, retested, continued higher, right at market open. It's the exact same gap too, and just skyrocketed towards our monthly. So AJ, fun fact about AJ is it's the most volatile pair. So it moves the most. It's the biggest, moves the most pips. So we really want to wait on this one, especially. You're not going to enter on this. Like if you did enter on this, where would your stop loss be? Like if you were to go long, like think about this. Where would your stop loss be? There's no structure. It would be all the way down here. That doesn't make any sense. So we have to wait. We have to wait until we get it's 400 pips away. We need to get some confirmed higher low. We need structure. We need some sort of protection for our stop loss to even get any sort of trade opportunity in here. So I have this 61.8 level marked, which is kind of a confluence area right here with this supporting trend line now. Even though it is downward sloping, it is still supporting technically because it is on the outside of that bearish channel. So a retest of this area would be pretty ideal. And we can also see this 200 EMA is on its way up. It's looking pretty steep. We'll probably find its way somewhere in here by the time this pulls back. So again, very good confluence area, 61.8. We are just waiting. We're waiting for some sort of confirmations, for some consolidation, a reversal, retracement, something that we can make sense of. But as of right now, this overextended market is just pretty nuts, pretty nuts. But also another key thing, when you see a move like this and it's just running and running and running, you don't want to be on the 1 hour. I mean, the 4 hour is kind of a medium spot, but you don't want to be on the 1 hour because it's hard to make sense of what price action is doing, because when a move this big is happening, it's more or less a daily move. So you want to pop up time frames. Give yourself, a chance to really see what's going on and read the market. So this is clearly a daily move, right? This is a pullback to this resistance level after we saw a huge drop off. So this was that huge drop off from this monthly resistance, right? It came down. Now it's pulling back. This is a daily move. But again, on that lower time frame, it looks so overextended. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? Why can't I read the market? Always shuffle up time frames, guys. Move around, okay? Just a little tip for you guys. All right, so let's keep going. EU. What do we do off the bat? Daily time frame. We want to find that sentiment. Again, super bearish. I mean, like clear as day. Super bearish channel. We do have these minor structure levels marked, and we did break out of this downward, this bearish channel. We did break out, but it is still pretty much bearish because look, it's just lining up with these highs. It's merely testing a key resistance level where we saw price action reject so many times. So this is a pretty key level. And let's drop down to the 4 hour and see what we could find. All right, so real quick, let's talk about this range for a second. So this was nice to see. We were playing this range for quite a while. We caught some shorts in here. There was a buy opportunity in here. This was, a good range. You can trade this pretty comfortably, but, price action gave us that higher low, 208, caught by the 200 EMAs, formed a good structure, and then took off. And then absolutely took off at market open again on Sunday. So it just kept going higher and higher and higher. As of right now, we have not formed any structure, I believe. Let's see. Not really. I mean, it wicked it, but like this needs to pull back. What the hell? Sorry, guys. All right. So we need to see some sort of pullback. Hopefully it's not an emergency. All right. Anyway, so this needs to pull back and form structure. So I mean, this is a weakening pattern right here from what we learn and what we teach. This is like an ascending flag, and that typically is a weakening trend. But clearly, price action has been continuing higher as DXY has been weakening. So this pattern didn't really come into play that much. So we are still, a little ways away from an entry here. We want to see a pullback. We want to see these MA crosses, this MA cross happen on a pullback, and then cross again for confirmed, potential entry. So we do want to see either 61.8 or the 38.2 hit at the very least. Right now, the 38.2 is looking the most promising, to be honest, because it is such a key level. There is a lot of confluence here. It would still present that MA pullback. It would still give us the test of broken resistance turn support, 38.2, and then obviously we're looking for those bullish setups, and then we can continue to target higher towards our next little structure zone around 1.13. So this would be, let's see, let's get a range on this. This would be about 150 pips. This would be a decent trade. But again, we're still waiting. Still waiting. Either waiting for another pattern or, that pullback that we so desperately need, honestly. I'm going to go ahead and extend this for a second. Because let's say it does pull back to 61.8. I do see a good amount of confluence in this area. This is a nice little pocket. This whole area right here that I'm highlighting, this is a nice pocket for price action. Will it pull back that quickly to hit this? Who knows? I mean, we got to see. But I want to bring this to your attention. This is a decent little area too. Okay. All right, so that's EU. But definitely bullish. Just look at the strength on this 4 hour trend. It's kind of ridiculous. Very, very strong. So yeah, we're in a waiting period now, guys. It's just, again, one of those weeks. But that's okay. It's absolutely okay. It's part of trading. You'll see it happen. I mean, at least it's not like this over here, like this crap. Look at this. Absolutely nuts. All right, so EJ, and then we're going to move on to gold in a second. So here's EJ. Jump to the daily time frame. We can establish it's super bearish, super bearish, very steep bearish channel. Let's go ahead and zoom in for a second. We do see this strong 4-hour bullish move here, breaking, these minor levels, this lower time frame, lower high. It broke it. Now it gave us that higher low at 116.5, above 116.5. Actually, what is it? Or 117, I'm sorry. And then it's continuing higher. It's breaking out of this bearish channel. But, it blew through the weekly resistance as well. So let's drop to the 4-hour. Yeah, this one really needs to form structure because it's like at such a key level too. So like this 38.2 would be really nice to see. Nice pullback 38.2, hit the top of this trend line, the supporting trend line at the top of this bearish channel. That would be super nice to see. Get it in on some bullish confirmations, and then we could target up to this major level here around 123. What is it? 120? Yeah, about 123. So this is a huge level. Also lines up with our negative 27 fib level. Super good. A super good level to target. This is super likely that it's going to happen. It's about 300 plus pips. But again, we just want to wait. I mean, because look how overextended this is. Again, if we were to just take a trade based on this here, your stop loss would be all the way down here, below these minor levels, below this major level. So it doesn't make much sense. We need to see some sort of established structure, some sort of established support level that we can then protect ourselves with, and then potentially make a great trade out of. So this is EJ. Very bullish. Very bullish as of right now. All right. Last but not least, gold. Let's jump to the daily for a quick second. We know that gold is bullish as hell. Very bullish. Been bullish. Broke this key level here, this monthly resistance. Tested a support, consolidated for a little bit, and now continued higher. But right now it's looking a little weak, to be totally honest with you. Let's zoom out. This is more or less, it's still consolidating. Like this is just consolidating. There's not that much volume in here. And it's not really making any higher highs other than this over here. These are more just tests of highs. So, we need to see a lot from this. We need to see a good amount. So from the current level, let me just clear this up. Where can we get a trade on this, right? That's the big question. So we want to see, so if we did see a reversal from here, this would be considered a higher low, right? So if we look left, so this is the low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low would be here as well. That would be fine. This would still be very much with the trend if we see a rejection of this level, which is fine. So we want to see a pop up back above 1720. Again, we want to see another higher low after this transition because this is a key level here. And then we can get in on some bullish confirmation. So yes, I entered on this trade over here. I think it was, 17, actually entered around 1720 area as it broke out of this trend line here. I entered on this. And yeah, it went up a little bit. I took some profit, gave me a double top, and then pulled back on this engulfing. I decided to stick to the trade and just let it run. My stop loss was at 17.16. And it hit it this morning. I woke up to a small loss, right? Not a problem. Part of trading. Now I'm just going to look for a re-entry. Just for a psychological tip too. I'm moving past that loss. I learned from it. I stuck to my trade. I stuck to my rules. I really don't have any bad feeling about it. You just got to move past it. And, I'm going to look for that next opportunity, which is fine. Because I know I'm going all the way up to 1800. All the way up to 1800. That's where we're going. It's fine with me that I took a small loss along the way. Not a big deal. So now this is what that next trade opportunity would look like. I want to see a reversal here, established higher low, small transition at the 1720 area, get in on another higher low, confirming this transition, bullish confirmations, and then we're in. Then we're targeting back up to 1800. So that's what I want to see. Essentially, if this does push lower, if we see gold continue to push lower, this would then be a 4-hour transition because we're getting past this higher low here, right? Now we're forming a lower low. If it got down here and confirmed and then gave us something like this at this level, it's a lower high. So that is, that's essentially, that's bearish movement. That's showing us that there's more bearish movement if we see this trade path play out. But for right now, it's looking pretty good. We're getting some rejection off this level. 200 EMA is right there. It's looking a lot like this. So let me just do a bar pattern on this actually. So it came down. Essentially, now guys, this isn't usually exact, but it's good for visual purposes, just to give you an idea of what you could potentially see. So like, look, this is exactly what I just drew, right? We see a break of the 1720 area. It finds support. I'm actually going to make this a little brighter so you guys can see it. Right, so let's say this is hypothetical potential trade path, essentially what I just drew. Rejection from this area, right? You get a bullish engulfing, right? Transition of the 1720 area, pull back, established higher low right here, and then you get in another engulfing, and then we're targeting higher, higher, whatever, potentially even all the way up to this zone immediately, or at least is 0%. So there you go. That's essentially what it's going to look like when we do see this play out. All right, so quick recap, guys. This is what I covered for you guys: DXY, AU, AJ, EU, EJ, and gold. Now Angela's going to get into some of the majors. So thank you, guys.
Yep. Cool. So that's gold.
Yep, it's gold. Oh, my foot fell asleep, dude.
All right, let's see what we got going on. So like I said, guys, we are going to wait out this week. We're going to wait for some positions to come in. Drop into the chat if what you guys, we're going to start with GU, and for anybody looking at GU right now, drop into the chat what you guys are thinking, and then we'll talk through, do an entire little top-down analysis, because GU is definitely at a significant level right now. GU is definitely testing a significant level of structure on this daily time frame. For me right now, let's bump up to monthly. So if nobody's taking a look right now at GU, I'm going to just start up. We're going to start all the way on this monthly time frame. As always, we're doing, our top down. So we're starting on the monthly time frame, do some top down analysis. Let's get this out of the way. Boom. So on the monthly, right away, I see a few things. I got my key levels on the chart. We're below this monthly key level right now. Moving averages are crossed. Overall, this is a downtrend to me. Overall, we had this huge push to the downside, this pullback, which is our lower high. And then we have been in this push where we retested this low right now. We actually just formed another lower high. So I'm more focused in on this area. Overall on this monthly time frame, we are bearish. Right now, we are below a level of resistance. Moving averages are crossed. We're retesting this level. We could potentially find some resistance here, as I have marked on this weekly time frame. Much of the same thing. We are, in a downtrend. We are at a lower low. Now we're pulling back. We're looking to see where this next potential lower high could be. Could something similar to this go down? Could something similar to this, where black session on the shared screen? Oh, let me hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Wait, mute it. Oh, shit. Well, that's not good, guys. All right, so what did you say? You're the only one seeing a black screen section at the shared screen. Usually it's full screen. Yeah, usually it's full screen. I mean, anyone else having trouble seeing his screen? I mean, obviously right now it's just the bull, but so you guys can't see his. Can you guys see the bull right now? Anybody? Yes. Okay. Yeah, you see the bull. Okay. Deeg, if you're still having issues, try
About to have a freaking
rejoining.
fire.
I know. I heard that.
Yeah, no, I'm about to. I just switched it up. I'm about to share on my desktop so you guys can see a little bit better. It's a cool wallpaper.
It is a cool wallpaper.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah, we actually offer that in the course too. There's a whole section you can download.
Yeah, if you guys want the wallpaper, can you guys see better now? You should be able to see better now.
Not yet. No, I see the chart.
Interesting.
I can definitely see your chart.
It's all good, right? All right, cool. All right, cool.
You can see.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
All right, so let's continue back. So obviously, I'm thinking of one or two things. Right now we previously had this go down where we broke, pulled back quite a bit up to this 200-day. We're pretty much right in the same area right now. I was actually just looking at this before, and I was comparing this to the current situation. So this is currently what I'm thinking. Weekly time frame, potentially we could find resistance here as I go down to the daily. Just talking about structure, this is what I see. I have from my high to my low, my fibs. This level was retested, formed that lower high. So we had this push through, pull back, push through, moving averages crossed. That's what made this a lower high for me. Moving averages crossing, momentum shifting, making this low. So we're retesting this level. This needs to really break for me to consider long opportunities. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw on here. We need to break. Boom. We need to break really above this level of structure and our monthly level, and a little bit of a retest before we go consider long opportunities. And on the flip side, right now, what I need to see if I get down into the 1 hour, in the 1 hour time frame, we have just been ascending. We've been ascending, maintaining these moving averages quite a bit. I will, because of the fact that I don't see structure, as in I don't see higher highs and higher lows on this, I will go down to the 30-minute at the minimum. U.S. movements on the trend as well. So I guess we got some. So I guess we got some big news. Some big news coming out. So with that being said, we've got structure on the 30-minute. So I'm just looking at the 30-minute. I've got a higher low here, higher high here, higher low here, higher high here, higher low here, higher high here. And then we're forming very minor structure right now, actually, which is something to consider. We have a very minor break of structure. We could potentially consider shorts, considering how aggressive or how much confirmation that this is a bearish confluence area on the higher time frame is. If I were to short here, I would have my stops there, and I would be targeting most likely around this level. But I just want to do something for you guys, bump back up to this daily time frame. Again, I want to compare this to this situation right here, because obviously we retested this level previously. This had already been a break of structure, but I just want to go over this. We're going to come back, go down to the 30-minute. So on the 30-minute time frame, as opposed to right now, there was never even any minor break of structure with this pullback, even on the 30-minute. This was just moving average. And I say that because moving average is crossed. We made this higher low right here. Boom, crossed back up, retested it right there, and then it just maintained. If we play this forward, it just maintained. Never broke any sort of level, even minor, even in here. Like, these are very insignificant. Like, never broke anything. If we go back to where price is right now, we are definitely getting some resistance at this level. Mind you, it is early, so if I do take a position here, it will be very small. It will be a very small position. But, something to think about with GU. And this, again, is based on, I'm going to move this up. This is based on the thinking that on this higher time frame, on the daily, there is so much confirmation here that this potentially could go bearish, in the sense that we're retesting these highs where it dumped previously 2 times. We climbed up to this level. Yesterday closed, a little bit of resistance, or yesterday closed here, a little bit of resistance, or I guess this is open right now. So we're getting some resistance off this level, 200 days here. A lot is here for us, and in the 4 hour, we're getting some pullback. So we'll see. It is still very early, and even if we don't enter now, there could be a potential for, say, once we break this level, to confirm ourselves a little bit more. Say we come down here, as soon as we break this level, we can then short down here. So something to think about with GU. I'm gonna monitor how this next candle really closes, and we're gonna see if we can, as this comes up to like retest this level, then I'm gonna decide whether to take an entry or not on GU. So updates to come on that. Let's go over to UJ, and let's bump all the way up to the monthly time frame. So UJ is obviously, on a pullback. UJ is obviously pulling back right now, as always, starting on the monthly. Retesting this weekly level support, retested this multiple times. 1, 2, huge wick here. Then we had this bullish engulfing right there, which looking back is a nice reason to think that this thing could pull back. But we need to go down time frames to start to see things just a little bit more clearly as to what our next potential move could be. The way that I see things is at this point we are in something similar to this, similar structure to this is we're just pulling back. I'm still going to look for that next potential lower high, next potential short opportunity, because of the fact that this is a low, this is our lower high, this is what really needs to break. With that in mind, let's see where we can see structure, on this daily and on the 4 hour. On the daily time frame, I see structure in the sense that this made a low, this made a lower high, this pulled back, made a lower high, right here, this variation. This is what needs to be broken ultimately for us. At this point right now, I've sort of been waiting for price to come in to this position. I know the 4 hour is bullish. The 4 hour has gone bullish and it is at a new high right now. So I need to wait for a lot more to play out right now. I'm sort of just sitting on the daily time frame. Really what I'm looking for, I put this bar pattern in here, is I'm looking for either some sort of rejection of this area or next some rejection of this area. If we start to break above here, then we can consider overall just shifting our entire perspective on whether we're then going to retest this high all the way up here on the monthly time frame on UJ. So two levels I'm looking at, this level, this level. I'm sticking on this daily time frame, so that means won't be looking for positions on UJ today really at all. Let's bump over to USEF. As we talked about, USEF, we were waiting to pull back. We've gotten pretty much perfect rejection of this daily level that we had been going over the past couple days. So weekly time frame on USEF is bearish, as we've talked about multiple times. Monthly time frame on USEF is bearish, but we actually right now we are forming a lot of dojis, so we could potentially pull back. Bearish in the sense that it recently broke below like this level right here. And I'm not going to keep this on my chart, but this is a level that was broken below based on this little variation here. Broke below right there. Now we're retesting that multiple times. As I come down to this daily time frame, had these lower highs made, 1, 2, 3, consecutive lower highs being made right here. And as we get down to the 4 hour, 4 hour is bearish. 4 hour is definitely very bearish. We need that pullback. We need that next lower high. Very similar to this. Very similar to this. Pullback, retest, find rejection, drop off. So that's what I'm looking for on USEF. Still got this bars pattern played out. Seems like it's reaching 38.2. Yeah, it's reaching 38.2, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to just, short based on the fact that it's there. I need to see confirmation, guys. Very similar to this. 2 bearish engulfings in a row. That show me structure shifting on lower time frame. Here, evening star. Show me structure shifting on lower time frame. You know what I'm saying? Then this pullback. This is where we were entering. All of our entries are right in there. So we're going to be patient. Once we see something similar to that, that's when we're going to strike. That's when we're going to enter the name of the game, just waiting. If we bump down to the 30-minute, you can see 30-minute just broke bullish. What I'm talking about is we need 30-minute structure to start to break. We need 30-minute structure to start to shift. Very similar to over here. Structure was bullish, higher low, higher low, higher low. Then it started to shift. Short here. That's where we shorted. Boom. Again, next short opportunity here. Boom. So structure is going bullish here. So we are going to just wait until we retest. Either we could consolidate like around this level or come a little bit higher. So again, just being patient on USEF. Let's bump over to NU. So NU has surged quite a bit. We retested this weekly level and found support, obviously very significant level. Came off of that all the way up now. We're back at this monthly level. So we're back at another level, key level. On this weekly time frame, what are we looking for, guys? We are looking for the next potential lower high. This trend line is not too relevant for us right now. I can come down onto the line chart, maybe put something So trend line's not too relevant for us right now. Boom, as we can obviously see. Um, this is some confirmation for me. This key level resistance, boom, on this weekly time frame, we're looking for this next lower high, something similar to this, something similar to this, similar to this. Like, could we get some consolidation now? That's what my next move is. Daily time frame, broke bullish, but I always want to know overall what is the trend. For me, the weekly is bearish. Weekly is bearish. We could potentially reject here and head lower, despite the daily being so bullish. So that's why I'll look for potential sell opportunities off of this level. But there's no structure at the moment. I'll stick to this 1 hour, down to the 30-minute even. There's no structure breaking yet. No structure has formed. So that's why I'm just chilling. The next 6 hours, I'll be chilling. 4 to 6 hours. I'll be chilling, wait for this to make a move upwards. Then if we break here, got my confirmation here, can comfortably take a trade. Look, there's been no trade opportunities on this. This has consistently, we'll bump up to the 1 hour. This has consistently respected higher lows that has been formed all the way up until this level. All the way up until this level. Now we need something to break, So I'm just chilling on NU, waiting on the higher time frame. And then UCAD, something that we've been going over, up on this weekly time frame. Let's start on monthly. So the monthly, obviously, we had this marked, this supply zone. We have this supply zone marked down on the weekly time frame. So I had this marked, boom. We came up into there. We were looking for shorts all this while. Then it finally fell out. The ultimate move that was made. What are we looking for next? I'm looking for price to really come to this area. I've got this trend line going. I've also got, this is resistance, now turns support. So I am looking for price to come down to that level. With that being said, all the way down to this 4 hour, I'm looking right now. I marked this up yesterday. I'm looking for a pullback into this zone, very similar to this. Pullback into this area, rejection of this monthly level before shorting. So today is just a prime example of us waiting, us not trying to take positions that aren't there. Like, I could go down to lower time frame and say, oh, let me long into this level. But what does that do for me? If I take a loss, then I hurt myself because I didn't stick to my plan and my account goes down, So I'd rather be patient and wait. I'd rather not trade the next day or the next 6 hours, wait for something to very clearly come in that looks very similar to a lot of other entries that I do take. And once that happens, then I will definitely be trading. Let's bump over to one more pair. Viewers enter 30-minute. I always enter 30-minute and 1 hour. So 30-minute, 1 hour are definitely the entry time frames that I look for. Let's look at GJ. So GJ, we went over yesterday. This weekly time frame, very similar to GU. We're looking for that next weekly lower high now. That's what we're looking for. Based on this break on the daily, this broke structure right here, we're looking for that first higher low. I do think that price could come up into this monthly level. I'm going to drag this across. So I'm just forecasting my next idea, guys. If price continues higher as it's done, yesterday we talked about this being the potential opportunity. Price hiked up. Now we need a retest. We need a pullback, retest. Then we'll look to long on this. So a lot of moves were made within early this week and at the end of last week. A lot of volume came into the market. Whether we were in those or not is not what's important. We need to do our best to manage our accounts right now. At the end of the day, at the end of this month, am I going to be upset that I didn't take positions on June 1st, 2nd, or 3rd? Or am I going to be happy with me waiting until June 5th and catching 2 to 4% on my next position and then ending the month up 10% on my account? You know what I mean?
I'll choose that. Option B.
Yeah.
Option B.
You know what I'm saying? So I see a lot of people like, oh, I don't see trades on the pairs that I look at. Should I look at something else? And I'm just like, no, like, save yourself the headache. And if anything, go back at these pairs that you look at. Because I look at my core pairs are GU, USEF, NU, and UCAT. Those are pretty much the 4 pairs that I'll trade. And so right now I'm not looking to like go trade on AJ or something. I'm not looking to go find a trade on EU. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Finding a trade means that you're going to lose. That you're realistically going to take a loss because you're not prepared to do that. You know what
Because
I'm
you're
saying?
trying to
That's
force
not in the
yourself
plan.
into a position. You're letting emotion get the best of you. What, like, why do
Yeah.
you feel? Dive into that a little more. Why do you feel the need that you need to take a trade? It's you don't. You don't need to go looking on other pairs, trying to put yourself in risky situations and in scenarios where you're uncomfortable in those pairs. You don't need that. This is part of trading. It's knowing when not to trade in. When there's things going on like this, you're waiting for a trade to play out. It'll pay off. Patience pays in this game, guys. It
Yep.
does.
So pretty much, things are a little bit slow this week. Obviously there's a lot going on in the world as well. So a lot of distractions going on. So we're just trying to continue to update our analysis, see how things play out. I think tomorrow things are going to shape up and we're going to get finally some opportunities, which is going to be nice. We'll update in the chat tonight. As always, in the Discord for you free people, analysis is where we'll update some of our stuff. That's where we'll post the recording of this, afterwards. You can go back beginning of the week, check out all of our analysis that was dropped. Again, completely free for you guys. If you got any questions, just feel free to post in this public channel anything related to Forex. People are here to help you out. And then if you want to drop charts, compare analysis, or you're thinking of taking trades, post in this Forex channel. That's the best place for you to go ahead and do that. And that being said, this is pretty much going to be the conclusion of this live trading session. We do have, just to announce really quickly, we do have this sale going on right now for lifetime signals for anyone that's interested. It's $150 one-time fee, $149. Normally it's $75 per month. We've been running this the last couple of days. There's one spot left. So if anybody wants in on that, shoot us a message after that and we'll talk. We'll post details on that. And we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Like I said, there should be some more positions coming into play tomorrow, get things a little bit more exciting. But at the end of the day, this is part of us doing these live sessions is giving you guys the transparency to see that at times you got to be patient and you can't overextend yourself.
100%. So, guys, thanks again, and happy trading. Just we'll see you guys in the community.
Hell yeah, and definitely with everything going on, stay safe. Stay safe out there,
Definitely.
and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.